This discussion is on The Selfish Giant, Chapter 3, Subject English Literature, Class 8, explained by Noor Sarovar, Delhi Institute of Advanced Studies, New Delhi. About the author, Oscar Wilde was an Irish poet and playwright. After writing in different forms throughout the 1880s, the early 1890s saw him become one of the most popular playwrights in London. He is the best remembered for his epigrams and plays. Author Oscar Wilde was known for his claimed works including the Picture of the Dorian Gray and The Importance of Being Earnest, as well as his brilliant wit, flamboyant style, and infamous imprisonment for homosexuality. Introduction. The Selfish Giant is a beautiful fictitious story by Oscar Wilde. This story revolves around a play garden which becomes lavish in the presence of the children and dries in the absence of the children. This story teaches us to treat kids in the right way. There was a lovely garden in a city. Kids used to play after their school time. There were numerous glass flowers and peach tree there. They used to cheer the kids, and bird used to sing memoriously songs. In the spring, plant brought flowers, while in winter they were giving sweet fruits. The kids be happy like never before. But this happiness did not survive long. Arrival of Selfish Giant. The garden belonged to a selfish giant. The selfish giant was at his friend's home for 7 years, but now he had returned. He scolded the children playing in the garden and so raised the wall around the yard. Persistent winter in the garden. Now the trees, grasses, and birds were sad, as there was no one to hang around their twigs and listen to the bird's song. The trees stopped blooming and fruiting while the birds stopped singing. Now the spring came in the whole country, but they did not enter the garden. This story is written as per the European countries like the United Kingdom, where the winter is of long duration and there is only spring season in place of summer. As a result, there was still winter. Once a flower raised his head. He saw the notice board by the giant and retracted back. Restless Giant. Now the giant was restless. He did not understand the cause of such a long winter. The snow had covered the grasses with white sheet and frost had painted all the trees with the silver color. Frost and snow invited the north wind. Winds from the north roared throughout the garden. North winds brought hail to the garden. Hail broke all the chimneys and the roof slates. One day, children made a hole in the wall and entered the garden. Now the spring came. Birds started singing. The giant woke up. He had not heard songs for a long time. Birds chirping felt like king's musician to him. The giant woke up and looked out. He saw children playing in the garden and trees welcoming the kids by lowering their twigs. The giant understood why spring came so late. Small kid. He saw a kid in the garden alone, trying to climb the tree. Frost and snow were still on that tree. The tree had already lowered his branches, but the kid was still too small to climb. The giant approached secretly from the behind and helped the kid to climb. The kid was happy and he kissed the giant's cheek. Other children were frightened by the giant and were running. But when they saw the giant was helping the boy, they also became happy. The giant asked the kid to stay and broke the wall. Now onwards, children played in the garden and thanked the giant. The giant asked about the small kid. Other kids were not knowing about the little kid. They also thought that kid for the first time. Days passed, the giant was still missing him because he was the boy who kissed him on his cheek. The arrival of the mysterious kid. Years passed and the giant grew old, but he never forgot about the kid. He now did not fear from the winter as he knew winter is just passing by. One day he saw the small kid playing on the same tree. The giant became happy and ran towards him, shouting, "Where were you?" Once he reached near the kid, he saw big nail scratches on his hand and the feet. The giant was in a rage, asking how this happened. The child replies, "These are the wounds of love." The arrival of a mysterious kid. The boy was an angel. He had came back to the giant to the paradise. The child replied, "Once you let me to the garden, now I have to come and take you to the paradise." Next day children came in the afternoon to play. They saw the giant lying dead, covered with the white flowers near the tree. The arrival of the mysterious kid. The boy was an angel. He had come to take the giant to the paradise. The child replied, "Once you let me in the garden, now I have to take to you to the paradise." Next day children came in the afternoon to play. They saw the giant lying dead, covered with white flowers near the tree. Important questions. Question 1. The giant saw the most wonderful sight. What did he see? Children made a hole in the wall and entered the garden. When the giant woke up, he saw children playing with the joy in the garden. With the arrival of the children, the trees were waving with the pleasure and had lowered their branches to assist the children in climbing the trees. What did he realize about seeing it? He thought that spring had finally come. Why was it still winter in one corner of the garden? There was a little boy in that corner. He was so small to climb on the tree. He was circling the tree and crying. The trees were in anticipation that the child will climb and remove the hails and north wind from the corner. As a result, there was a still winter in that corner. Question 3. Describe the first meeting of the little boy and the giant. The little boy was unable to climb and was crying. The giant approached the boy secretly and put him on the tree. The boy became happy and kissed the giant on his cheek. Describe their second meeting after a long interval. After the first meeting, there was no whereabout of the boy. He never came back until the giant became old and weak. Once the old giant saw that small boy, he rushed to him. He saw that the boy had big nail scratch marks on his feet and hands. The giant was in anger about who did that to the boy. The boy told the scratches are wounds of love. The giant lay dead, all covered with the white blossoms. What does this sentence indicate about that one selfish giant? The giant died with the white blossom covered indicate a peaceful migration of the soul of the giant to the paradise. The boy was an angel. The approval of the giant to let the boy play in the garden removed all his earlier cruelty and mischiefs. Now the boy had come to allow the giant's soul to the paradise. Thank you.